The threat of terrorism and crime affect all of us, impacting societies around the world, even here in Minneapolis. There are simple steps each of us can take to dramatically improve our ability to prevent terrorism and crime, protecting ourselves, our loved ones, and our communities. The horrific events of September 11 and the Boston Marathon bombing have shown us that terrorism is not only a very real threat abroad, but also right here at home. Anyone can become a victim. What's becoming increasingly clear is the important role of everyday citizens like you and me. We all have the responsibility to protect our community, and we can do so by recognizing suspicious behaviors and report them. The prevention of any crime will ultimately enhance our community's safety.
Experts agree that there are 8 signs we should be aware of: surveillance, information gathering, testing security, funding, acquiring supplies, impersonation, rehearsal, and deployment. When you witness any suspicious activities, you should report them by calling 311. If danger seems imminent, call 911 immediately. Surveillance. While planning, terrorists will often survey a potential target to determine its strengths and weaknesses. This may include determining how well a target is protected, identifying what type of security measures are in place, and gauging emergency response times by local police and rescue units. How do you distinguish between a tourist taking souvenir photos and a terrorist surveying a target? Often it's about what they're taking a picture of. Are they looking at the field or the delivery entrance? Suspicious surveillance activity may include someone recording or monitoring security staff, making notes of staff rotations or crowd movements, using vision-enhancing devices, and timing activities, studying floor plans or blueprints, or taking pictures or video of access points. Any of these behaviors may be a sign that something isn't right, and you should report it by calling 311. Information gathering. Information gathering is when there are attempts to gain information from people or organizations related to a target. Criminals often ask probing questions about operations and security of important places, such as a refinery, hospital, stadium, or shopping mall. Suspicious behaviors include individuals asking about operations at a facility and attempting to gain non-public information. Also, report anyone bragging about plans to harm citizens in violent attacks. Call 311 if you observe any such activity.
Testing security. Terrorists and criminals may trespass onto restricted areas or deliberately tamper with operations and personnel that could compromise security. Have you ever been on the Skyway or light rail and noticed a bag that has been left unattended? This could be an example of someone determining how long it takes for security to respond and where they respond to. If you witness someone engaging in these activities, notify the police or call 911 immediately.
Funding. It's expensive to run a terrorist operation. Terrorists not only need to raise money, but they also need to transfer and spend it in a way that does not bring attention to themselves. Typical crimes for funding can be anything from drug and people trafficking to funneling money from charitable contributions and legitimate business operations. Smuggling money is one way they will transfer funds. Terrorists will purchase goods such as digital currencies, prepaid credit cards, or gift cards and move them from one place to another. They are then sold for cash that is used to purchase supplies. There are many signs to watch out for, such as witnessing large transactions that are paid for with cash or prepaid credit cards, and also being aware of solicitations from unregistered charities you've never heard of. If you see something that may be suspicious, call 311.
Acquiring supplies. To conduct an attack, terrorists need a variety of supplies, which may include weapons, a means of transportation, and a communication system. They may also use everyday objects, so it is important to look for strange or unusual purchases or stockpiles of certain materials. Here in Minneapolis, there have been instances where individuals have had their cars broken into, but valuables such as iPods or stereos were not taken. Instead, they stole identification and access cards. This could be a sign of acquiring supplies to conduct an attack. Terrorists have also forged personal identification, including passports and stolen uniforms. If you see any of these activities, call 311.
Impersonation. Criminals may impersonate first responders, mail carriers, or company employees to gain information. They will also use aliases to avoid suspicion and obtain access to their targets. Presenting false documents or identification are also examples of suspicious activity. If you see something abnormal or have a gut feeling that something is just not right, call 311.
Rehearsal. Terrorists will rehearse a pending attack, often several times, to ensure their operation runs smoothly. The run-through may include putting their operatives into position, testing their weapons, and measuring emergency response times by police and firefighters. If you witness any activity in which danger seems imminent, call 911 immediately.
Deployment. During the deployment phase, terrorists are arranging their assets, getting into position, or in the midst of conducting an attack. If you see this kind of suspicious activity, you should not attempt to stop it, rather call 911 immediately.
The success of securing our community's safety depends upon our shared commitment. You can make a difference in helping stop crime or even prevent an attack by recognizing these 8 signs and alerting authorities.
There are many ways to report suspicious activity in the city of Minneapolis. For imminent threats, call 911. And to report suspicious behavior, call 311. Text your tips to 847-411, followed by MPD plus your tip. If you're in the surrounding areas of Minneapolis, to report suspicious activity, call 612-673-3000.
Minneapolis is one of the most beautiful and thriving cities in America. With the help of people like you, we can continue to be a welcoming and safe community.